I want to talk about how to grow wheatgrass, especially how to grow big flats of wheatgrass like this. You start with an empty flat. Usually I buy grass like the kind you plant in your garden, and then once the grass has died, you just continue to use the container. Then I'll line it with newspaper. You could use wood chips or something, but just something to keep the dirt from falling through the cracks. And then you want to use I like to use the dirt that doesn't have any fertilizer in it. This just has sand and peat in it, so it's safe for the birds to eat. You have to look very carefully at the labels to make sure that the stuff you're getting doesn't have any extra stuff in it. This is actually a mixture that's for palm trees and cactuses, and it doesn't have any fertilizer in it at all. Okay, and I've got, I also have my parrot helping me here. Over here then I have a lot of wheat that I've soaked. This is just regular red winter wheat that I've soaked for 2 days. That's all I've done is I just filled a bin full of the wheat. Actually about half full because it does swell up. And now it's nice and soaked. The roots are just barely starting to poke out, and it's just ideal for planting. So then I'll take some scoops of that. Of course, my parrot is helping me, and I'll cover it nice and thick. Like that. There we go. Maybe a little bit too thick, but that's okay. The thicker you make it, the thicker the grass comes up. I like the grass to be nice and thick like this. There we go. And then I'll take another, just a little bit of newspaper or something to cover it with to keep the moisture in. So I've got some newspaper over here. I'm going to take one thin layer of newspaper and put that over the top there. It's hard to do this one-handed, but you get the idea here. And then I usually will put another thing on it just to keep the paper from flying away. This is just a little extra lid that I had. And then I'll soak it. So I'm going to turn on the water over here. Actually, I can take that lid off there. Soak it real good. Make sure it's nice and moist. Cover it up. Just keep it wet, and I like to let it get a little bit of sunlight so that it keeps it nice and warm and moist. And then in a few days it should be making little tiny heads, and then eventually it sprouts up. It's real nice. And I make lots of little pots of it too, the same way, just using a smaller amount. And that way the birds have lots of wheatgrass. And you can see, as we go around, look at the bird cages, that they have pots of wheatgrass in with the birds. They like that really well. It keeps the birds happy and healthy. Some of them are hanging pots, little tiny pots here. But also in my house, you'll see that there's, wherever there's birds, there's wheatgrass for them. And it's a cheap way to get them eating greens. A flat about this size with wheatgrass costs maybe about 60 cents to make. And it lasts for about 2.5 to 3 weeks. What do you think, hon? Are you a good boy? Huh? He's a good boy. He's a helper. He's my helper.